Hello and welcome to From Finland with Love. Today I'm going to talk about a new build that I just finished. And I haven't built so many guns, and if they've been guns, they've been somehow ridiculous or fantasy guns. So for instance, I built this what's it called? Blunderbuster. Anyway, so here I bought a replica shotgun, and then I just made this part. Another build I had was this piton gun, which still needs a 3D printed coil part, and this part at some point I will have it done. But anyway, these I've built. But this was more actually demanding, and the reason why I started this build was that my friend in France, Luca, built one. And he's built several of these guns that looked so amazing. And it's the gun from The Living Daylights. And it looks like this. And it's actually a kind of an existing gun. Well, this is scratch built, so it's just a wooden toy gun actually. But the Walther WA2000 is actually an existing gun. They built, I've heard, 170 something of them for the German police, a compact sniper gun. In The Living Daylights, Timothy Dalton has this gun with some special equipment. One is this night vision or night sight, night scope, and the other one is another scope that we don't really know what it's doing because it's covered, so it's not even open, and there's a red button, but it's supposedly doing something. So, but I just remember from the movie when I saw it, it was so special. It looked so somehow exciting, and a little bit like the guns from Planet of the Apes, if you remember those. So it's something with this really square and fun shape that makes it look a bit futuristic. It has so many in a way parts, but it still looks really compact and somehow scary and cool. I liked it as a design object, and Luca, my friend, had built this, and it looked so good. So I decided, I messaged him and asked that, hey, could you help me if I'm building one? And I've been helping him building some stuff. For instance, this ATAC he built, and then I sent him some drawings, and actually, yeah, I got some parts from him, and I got some parts from Ed Maggiani and stuff. So we builders in the Bond community help each other out with figuring out parts and sourcing parts, and also manufacturing them. So actually, Luca was kind enough to 3D print this scope for me. This is an existing scope, and this is also an existing one. This he helped me with finding, so I found it on eBay. It was something like $80, and then I just did a few modifications to make it look like the one in the movie. This was actually print. There's one part missing. I'll explain why it's missing later. So it came in parts. There was a lot of sanding, a lot of painting, and then I did the sticker that's there. And also it has this kind of blue front that I'm mimicking with my version. This is a bought plastic part, but otherwise Luca was kind enough to print it for me. And he had a friend who actually helped him with drawing again. So there's been a lot of people involved. And then again, Luca, when he was building the gun, then he got a lot of good pictures and help from Ed Maggiani from the States, who is a famous prop builder in the prop building community. So everyone's been helping everyone, and I decided to start working on it. So I had the scope first built, printed, then I built it, I painted it. There's actually a couple of different ideas of what's the real color of the scope, because in some behind the scenes pictures, it looks like it has two colors. It looks like almost green, but in the movie it looks black, I think. So I made it black. But then the base was quite interesting to make, and actually not so difficult, because when I looked at it, I noticed that it's actually very blocky and very, very square. So I had these parts cut out. So I had the wooden parts cut out with a water cutting. Actually, it could have been a bandsaw or something else, but I actually have used the place. And the same place, they actually do signs mostly. So this material that I'm using here, this is actually a material they use for signs with laser. I think they cut it with laser. When they cut it, the second layer of this material is white. So when they kind of burn it with laser, then the white comes out, and it's used for signs. But I could also have them cutting through the whole way. So that was quite handy, because then I got the parts that cover the wooden parts. So first I had the basic wood parts, which I sanded. Then I finally could cover them with that material. And then actually these parts that look like wood, they are from the same material. And that was there. I had a friend, Ville, who lent me his garage. He has a lot of tools, so I could use all his tools and did a lot of filing, rasping, filing, and sandpapering to get it looking like this. All parts are not super like accurate, but I think they are accurate enough. And one mistake I also did, which was funny, because here you can see you have the safe and fire. On the other side, it should be the other way. So now it's actually safe here when it's on fire on the other side, and vice versa. So we never know if it's firing or if it's safe, so it's not a very safe gun. And the original gun actually was an ambidextrous gun, which is also interesting if you think of the design. This wooden part you could take off, you could change it clock, and you screwed it in place, and you changed then the inner part, some parts there, so that the empty shells flew out the other way instead. And that's why everything is ambidextrous in the gun. So it's if you were left-handed, then you could modify it working for you. That's about it. And I've used a lot of, like, I just bought some aluminium pipes. Also this one, this is plastic on top here. This is actually a vintage cigarette or tobacco case, which just looked perfect, so I used that. And then I did this stand for it, like this, and then it also has a cover. So, and there I did these stickers. It might be reflecting so much so you don't see it now, but anyway, we have the living daylights and the name of the gun, and we have this gun barrel background. So actually it's then lit up from the top. I don't have the light now there. It's lit up from the top and the bottom, and it actually, I think, looks pretty convincing. What I have done differently, I could have used a different wood. I used aspen. I think it's called aspen tree, which is quite a light and bright tree, actually pale tree. So I mean, it would have looked more realistic if I had used some wood that they use for guns for real. Well, I think it's good enough anyway. Still a toy prop. And yeah, otherwise all details are not perfect, but I think it still looks good. And this was a really fun build. So the reason this one button is missing is because here we have it, and actually the gun didn't fit into the case with it, so it can be put into place when the gun is needed. Yeah, so I have to build this case for it. My wife doesn't really understand why I need it, but she'll get there. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. See you again soon. Bye-bye.